Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on the Supernatural Show, the show that is not for entertainment purposes only. And today we're going to be talking about the Midnight Hammer Babylon Judgment and all the symbolism surrounding such words and all of the different components, maybe not all of them, but some of the components. And we're going to be looking for some interaction from y'all guys and pointing us in the direction of those said things. And my phone should stop dinging here in a minute. Real quick, we've got my co-host Shannon in the house here with us today.
Hello.
As you can see. And we've also got Roxy in the house here with us. I think. You there, Roxy? And of course, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good.
I can hear it just fine.
I can hear you.
And of course, we've got Miss Kim in the house here with us as well. You can see her sitting right over there, little blonde-headed lady, performing and learning how to be the co-director for the show. Because believe it or not, we're going to get better and better at this, and improve on all aspects. Today we went live actually probably about close to an hour ago on the Beyond the Veil portion of the website. I released a promotional video up front letting you know, one, what we're going to be talking about, and two, we're already live on the website, except for it's not a normal live stream where there's a server ingesting the content and then broadcasting it back out to places. In this case, it is a peer-to-peer type thing, meaning there's no server ingestion. So when y'all guys come there, it's almost like you're sitting here in the room with us. There's no chat there yet, but that will be fixed here very soon. And very soon we'll have the chat fixed. And so if you want to join in prior to the show and be able to see the beginning of the show, and then when we go beyond the veil, which we're going to be doing quite often, we will be back over there because it allows us to be able to talk about anything we want to, play any copyrighted music we want to, play any copyrighted videos we want to, and talk about and say any words that we want to without being censored. And it, of course, allows y'all guys to be with us before, during, and after the show as well. And like I said, we'll have the chat fixed because I know a lot of you like to interact in the chat. So I know there's probably quite a few of you that are back here on YouTube and not on the website. But we will be transitioning here in just a little bit, because when you start talking about this Midnight Hammer Mystery Babylon Judgment, there's things that we're going to have to verbalize that either we're going to extremely have to code extremely heavily, or either we're going to have to be beyond the veil, where there's no server ingesting the video. Now, don't ask me how in the world I managed to figure out how to make all this work, but I have. And it literally, the website that it's on doesn't even get the ingestion feed. It's literally coming from our cameras directly to that video feed, and there's no middleman. It's really awesome. All right, but right now we are live on 10 platforms. We're live on two Facebook platforms. We're live on maybe actually 11, but YouTube, Rumble, Kick.com, Odyssey, DLive, Rumble's private area, which what's it called? It's slipping my mind right at the moment, and a couple of other places. And we're going to stay here live. Huh? Locals, yeah, locals, exactly. Thank you, Roxy. I appreciate all y'all guys here. I see you in the comments. I see Mike Smith, and Lord, forgive me, Mike, I forgot to introduce you and Super Dave. Mike Smith is our supernatural moderator that's in the moderation here with us pretty much on a daily basis, and so is Super Dave. They are part of our team, so we, Rage Against the Machine, about ready to put the word supernatural in front of your name too as well, and a couple of other people that are here a lot. Let me see over here. See, Rage Against the Machine is a moderator as well, and has been for quite a long time. And let's see who else I see here. I see Daniel, and I see Loves Y'all. Trying to which Daniel that is. There's quite a few of them. Yeah, I can't pronounce that one either. But we, he says, judgment is not justice. Well, I'll say it like this, and it's not going to answer exactly what you're saying, but the final judgment that takes place in this world of, see, like the fall of Mystery Babylon is not a true, this is just my opinion. It's not, and Lord forgive me if I'm wrong, Father, but it's not the true judgment of God coming down and destroying America, because America is Babylon. We control the media, we control the money, and we control the military, the hammer. But we are, and I'm not speaking about you and me or anyone here listening, to be honest, or watching. I'm speaking about they that run it. See, they that run it are going to be behind destroying it. And I really can't get much more into who and specifics on that until we go beyond the veil, which I will. But with that being said, let's see here. Let me pull up. I might share my window here in a second. My screen. I want to. I need to get a couple slides I've got here for you pulled up, because just some things, a few things to show you that I definitely can show here. Just got to pull them up here. Y'all guys remember, see, Midnight Hammer. Let's just talk about a few vague things. Midnight Hammer. Okay, so obviously we're talking about midnight, and we're using the word hammer. Hammer is symbolically is like a, could be like a gavel. Recently, on the 4th of July, Independence Day, when supposedly we won our independence, right? Our freedom and all this back 1776. Trump, he did he signed the bill, the one beautiful, great giant bill or whatever it was called. And he, for the first time, as far as I know in history, was given a hammer, a gavel, and slammed it on the desk 6 times. Interesting choice of strikes. But anyways, he symbolically executed, symbolically, he executed possibly judgment. Okay. Now, there's none of us here that have a clue what's in that bill that he signed. What's in there? And there's no one here that has read it. Now, you may have read a little bit, or you may have heard a little bit, but even myself, I have not seen it or read it, excuse me, because you're talking about something that it would fill all these books in this, what looks like a bookcase behind me. That's the size of this kind of a thing. And there's purposes for that design, or that size, of course, because it makes it nearly impossible for anybody to go in there and see what it is. And I found it interesting, too, when he did that, the person who handed him the hammer or the judgment gavel was, he was surrounded by a certain type of people, which we'll talk about more specifically. We'll go beyond the bell here in just a few minutes, because we can, and we will. He was surrounded by the same group of people, the same ones that are going to make it appear like America has fallen. Babylon, Mystery Babylon, the great whore that rides on the back of the beast that has 10 horns and 10 crowns. Well, I don't know if you're aware, but there are 10, as of about 2 weeks ago, there are 10 nations now. BRICS. It's countries identify themselves as red, like red China, red Russia, red Iran, red North Korea, red Venezuela, red, and you can go on with the list, okay? There's now, as of 2 weeks ago, 10 of them. So the potential for the fulfillment of the prophecy that's written in Revelations and spoken about in the book of Daniel, for it to be fulfilled, even typically as to be exactly fulfilling it. You see, there are 10 main countries, and then there are 10 associate countries. I can't recall the exact word that it used for that, like 10, and it's the second 10. It's two tens. It's like saying you have 10 horns with 10 crowns. And there was only 9 and 9 until about 2 weeks ago, because Indonesia joined as one of the sets of 10. And then the main set of 10, which are the main members, the full members of BRICS, also joined a few weeks ago. Indonesia was the secondary one that's not on a full member status. So you have a 10 and a 10. And I've said for a long time, what's going to happen is that they're building a new financial system, BRICS. They're going to come together in one day coming, and they are going to burn the whore of the world that rides on their back. And you say, well, how do we ride on their back? Well, we militarily affect them. We put tariffs on them. We put, what do you call it? What do you call it when like a president puts something on another country that's a financial thing? It isn't tariffs, but it was, what's it called? Anybody?
I'm trying to remember. Embargo? Yeah, maybe.
No, it's well, that's a good example. No, it's another word. Somebody will come up with it in the comments here in a second. But anyways, we rule currently the United States, not us personally, just like the Jews, the average Jew
Same.
in Jerusalem or in Israel, sanctions. Bam. There you go. Sanctions. That's it. And Curious Georgia got it as well, along with Daniel. Yep, sanctions. That's it. See, we we just freely do these things to other countries because why? Because we are all powerful. Who can stand against the beast? Nobody by themselves. Now, some people are probably still saying, Daniel, how is Babylon America? Well, one, it's not just it's about control. Who's got the biggest military? Obviously, the United States. Who controls the majority of the trading of money and goods? The New York Stock Exchange. It exchanges, I think it was 8 times more than all other stock exchanges combined. So if you look at the Hong Kong Stock Exchange and other stock exchanges, you add them up, and then you look at the New York City Stock Exchange, we're trading more goods and more money times 8 than all of them, approximately. It's a lot more. And we also technically are in control of the media. We run the media. If you think about where ABC, NBC, CBS, and not only those, but other medias that you would think are out of like Russia or Iran or some other place. If you figure out where their home, where they run their studios at, they'll be in New York City, LA, or maybe Atlanta. Some places like that. A couple places in Texas, like Austin and stuff. But we run it all. We run the world. Now, this is this is where my opinion is just a little bit different than maybe some people's, but it's been a setup from the beginning for this to happen. From the creation of America, it was intended to go this way. And it was intended to be built up, and then it was intended to be destroyed, just like the Twin Towers were. They were constructed in such a way that they would be destroyed one day, and they knew it, and they did it 33 years after they built them. And this has been in plans with people that do this kind of long-term planning. They've done this over and over throughout time and epochs. They've learned a system of how to make themselves the victim, and not only make themselves the victim, but turn around and let's use the example of Germany. Who was the victim there? Nazi Germany. Who was said and claims to be the victim? Who is said and claims to be the victim across 20 other countries and 20 other times? It's the same people. But yet somehow they still remain in world power every time until the people finally notice and they say, like Elmo did the other day on Twitter. Yeah, Elmo went crazy calling out the juice. And the thing is, Sesame Street, which controls Elmo, is Elmo, is owned by the Jews. They mostly own all of it. Most of these platforms that I'm live on right now are owned by the same people. They have perfected and are willing to do or say anything in order to maintain that control. So there's coming a time here very soon where it's going to look like they're being destroyed again. They're being ran out of the country again. And at the same time, Babylon falls. And but the problem is there's already a fix in place, ready to go to replace everything that will be destroyed. There's already a fix in place. I hope that y'all guys can see that. I know that some of you probably really have a hard time struggling to see it, but I hope you can see it. We're going to try to get into it more here in just a minute beyond the veil, where I don't have to worry about what I'm going to say. And I've got a lot of slides and some other things that I'm going to share with y'all guys and show you. And we're also going to look, because we're talking about the hammer concept, right? But we had Trump, he had the hammer banging on the desk recently, as we know. And we had Midnight Hammer, which the Midnight Hammer thing is really interesting because we have something called iPet Goat, which is a AI created occult video that literally shows everything that's going on right now. I've been decoding it now for over 10 years. And I pretty much have decoded the entire thing. And I realized recently, and I'll share this here, I realized recently that the very beginning of iPet Goat, if y'all guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'd be surprised, but iPet Goat 2 is a video that's on YouTube that you can pull up that people have been trying to decode since 2013 when it originally came out. And it has in it depicted many of the things that not only happened prior to 2013, but after 2013 as well. And in the opening scene, one thing that I was always curious about in the opening scene of that was there are 6 lights. It looks like a prison scene, like Auschwitz, with a fence around it, and you got a goat that comes and sticks his head out of a symbolic box or cube, or it could be looked at another way. But the goat sticks his head out and he starts counterclockwise spinning his head, and up to the right hand side of the screen there are 6, looks like floodlights, 6 lights in the sky. Now, it never hit me for sure until recently what that is. And I also have decoded throughout that entire video that most of the things in the video point to around the September time frame. And I mean a lot. We'll talk about that beyond the veil here in a minute. I'm going to show you the video and we're going to look at a lot of imagery, and I'm going to explain some of the new things that I now understand I've never even spoken before. But I'm going to speak one of them here now, and that is that the 6 lights, the floodlights that are in that scene at the very beginning of iPet Goat, those 6 lights are 6 planets that will be seen in the sky at the time in question. Now, guess how many planets are in the sky in September, mid-September? How many planets you have in the sky? You have 6. You have Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Venus, Neptune, and Saturn. All will be in the sky with a crescent moon on September 23rd. And the crescent moon, as well as the 6 lights in the sky, and they're in not just anywhere in the sky, they're visible over America each night during September. 6 lights. 6 lights. It's not a coincidence. And I'm glad I was able to finally figure out why it had 6 floodlights. And of course, iPic is all about the heavens and earth and all this stuff, like I talk about, but it's now clear what it is. It's 6 planetary figures, 6 what I would call fallen deities that will be visible in the sky above America when Mystery Babylon falls. Now, I can't sit here. First off, I don't want it to happen, but I can't sit here and say that it for sure is this September, because I can't. But I can tell you that more and more and more things line up to show that we're talking about this September. If you remember at the end of iPic Goat, it shows 3 pyramids, 3 locations being destroyed. In the beginning of the video, it shows 3, how should we say, there's some profane drawings on the chalkboard in the background. One of them looks kind of like a cannon or maybe a penis, and it's shooting 3 things, 3 loads out of the cannon. And there were 3 things destroyed, 3 pyramids, 3 centers of power, aka Babylon, destroyed at the end. And at the end, in the sky, is Scorpio. Okay, the constellation of Scorpio, and several other constellations that will be visible in the sky with these 6 planets above America in September. It literally is all like, again, I have nothing to gain by being right about these things that I talk about. I live in this country just like most of you do too. It don't sound like fun, but it's been put upon me to be my job, to be a watchman of these things and to warn the people of what I do, what I can see. And let's see here. All right, I think we went basically far enough. Roxy, Shannon, anybody have any particular thoughts?
I mean, everything you said is pretty much everything you said is pretty much right on the money, you know, with what you're, to me, everything, you know, I say this all the time, but everything is a ritual. Everything that they show us has some kind of ritual purpose for them, for they, whatever you want to call them. And so, you know, it's something to pay attention to, because whether or not you are believing or participating in their ritual, they want you to see it for a reason, and they believe it very much so. And there's so many more of them that are hiding in the depths of everything, in the shadows, that believe this. And that's what we have to remember, is sometimes, you know, when you're not thinking of things as a ritual or symbolically, or you're just looking at it like, oh, it was just some moment, you know, media frenzy or whatever it is that they're trying to show you, there's a purpose for it, and they're harnessing your energy, your thoughts, and manipulating you into what direction they want. So understanding these things and what's to come and what their purpose is so very important. So I just that's my take. That's my thing that I have to say.
And Roxy, if you have any thoughts before we go beyond the veil, because I want to pull up some different imageries and stuff, and I want to work on going through some verses scripturally and look at I Pick Goat and show how this whole midnight and judgment, the pounding of the gavel is judgment. We all know that, right? And I wonder that I said the other day too. Go ahead.
I was going to say something. There's a song, okay, called Beating Like a Hammer or whatever. Sometimes I'll wake up with songs stuck in my head. And it's really kind of funny because I had that song stuck in my head the morning you were messaging us with all of this information of all these revelations that you had come up with all the stuff that we're talking about. And I just find it very interesting because in the spirit, we feel it. We feel that hammer of judgment. And it's very, very vivid right now. So, when you have something stuck in your head in the morning out of nowhere, sometimes I like to pay attention to that because there's something to that. Anyways, I thought I'd interject that.
Yeah, it's probably most everybody here knows that there's something big afoot, and it's not just one thing big afoot. There's a number of things big afoot, but one that would be pretty big is that if we get the judgment of Mystery Babylon that Revelations talks about, if it unfolds, well, it's going to be pretty, at a minimum, inconvenient for most of us for an unknown period of time. Now, they know how long the period of time will be because they're the ones that will be executing it, pulling strings from behind the hidden veil, like the Wizard and the Wizard of Oz, pulling the levers and the strings, just like an I Pick Goat where it shows in the very beginning, and then it shows Bush tap dancing, and I think we all know something's up. We're going to look into it much more, guys. We're going to do it beyond the veil so I don't have to keep stopping myself while I'm talking because I'm scared I'm going to say something and blow up the stream. So where you're going to be able to go if you want to continue watching for free is you can go to TheSupernatural.Show. And on that homepage, no matter if you're on your cell phone or on the computer, I've got it working really well. So you'll see an icon there if you go down a little bit, if you're on a computer or not a cell phone. You go down a little bit and you'll see something that says Beyond the Veil. Just click that and it's going to come up and we'll be there live. It'll be basically a non-stop transition right out of here live. We were there live already an hour before the show even went live. So prior to the show is going live. Yeah, we're live over there. We've been live over there for 2 hours. We've been live here for what? I'm not sure exactly, but we've been live here for an hour basically, or something like that. And we are going to go over there. Again, it's called TheSupernatural.Show, and then just look for the icon that says Beyond the Veil. Now, there's no live chat there yet. There will be in coming days, I promise you, but it's not yet. So unfortunately, you can't chat. And the streams like YouTube and Facebook and all these streams are getting ready to go down. Okay, because we cannot speak openly without great risk of blowing up everything that I've got going. And I've already had my big channels like this terminated 4 times before. And I can tell you, it's no fun to have to start over at 0 when you're currently over 100,000 subscribers. And I can hear y'all guys popping over there. So let's get, speaking of popping, let's get us popping. So what we're going to do is we are going to make our move to the Beyond the Veil. And trying to find my proper, here we go. So we're going to move over there. There may be a link below the video, but all you got to do is just go to TheSupernatural.Show. It's not .com, it's .show. TheSupernatural.Show. And it'll take a moment for me to transition out of this. We're already live. You'll be able to see and hear whatever we're doing while I'm transitioning from the live show. And then we'll start talking about and going into the things that we're talking about, okay? So we'll see you there. Head on over and let's get myself ready to transition. So, all right, we'll see y'all guys.
It's a twister! It's a twister!
I imagine right now you're feeling a bit like Dorothy, landing in Oz in a realm that just does not feel quite like home. I can see it in your eyes. You have the look of a man who does not accept what he sees, because he suspects everything his eyes present to him is a lie. Ironically, this is very close to the truth. Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know, you cannot explain, but you can feel it. You have felt it your entire life, that something is wrong with this world, that has been presented to you with the full expectation that you accept it and never question it. You don't know completely what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind driving you mad. It is this feeling that brought you here to me, to now, to a choice. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you want to know what it is? It is the supernatural image and word of God. It is all around us right now, even in your very room where you are sitting at this moment. You can see it when you peer into the mirror at your own reflection, or when you take a photo of a friend. You can feel it when the sun shines, or when a wave in the sea crashes upon you. You can taste it when you bite into an apple, and see it when you tear open a fruit. You can feel it when you caress a woman, or when a woman caresses you. And you can see it upon the woman's body, the breasts, the buttocks, and eyes alike. It is there when you speak or when you take a breath. You can hear it when the great owl screeches, or see it written upon his face. You can see it coming when a whirlwind is nearly upon you, and hear it when the thunder rolls. and you can feel it when the wind blows. It is the world that exists beyond the veil. It must be perceived with the mind before the eye can see it. A world that no one ever informed you of, yet you know it's there. If you speak of it, others will say you're crazy, for you must believe what they believe. Like everyone else, you were born and introduced and convinced of a false reality, a false world, a prison world designed so that you would not see, hear, smell, taste, or touch the supernatural reality of the true world. They built a prison for your mind and a hell for your soul, and they pray to their gods that you will never wake up. Unfortunately, no one can be shown what the supernatural world is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there's no turning back. You hit the back button, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you believed before this moment. Or you continue watching and you cross beyond the veil. And I will show you what is behind the wizard's curtain. Remember, all I am offering you is the truth. Nothing more, nothing less. It is now time to choose. Go back now or continue beyond the veil.